Good evening. Welcome to our YouTube channel tonight. Hope you're doing well. I'm assuming that as you watch this, you're at home relaxing. Hopefully, you had a nice meal and you had an opportunity to spend some time with your family. Tonight, I want to touch on Tiger Woods' performance at the Masters tournament. The Masters tournament concluded on Sunday. And many people were just really, really happy to see Tiger Woods at the Masters at Augusta. The 2022 Masters tournament closed this past Sunday. Scottie Scheffler, the number one ranked golfer in the world, won the Masters tournament. He played spectacular golf. Over 4 days, many golfers, watchers were glued to the television, just taking it all in. So Scottie Scheffler deserves major congratulations. He deserves props for winning. So once again, accolades to Scottie Scheffler. I think it's important to take some time to provide my analysis of Tiger Woods' return to competitive golf after a 17-month layoff. Last year, Tiger Woods crashed his vehicle, a very, very serious accident. His leg was broken, and he was contemplating the prospects of his leg being amputated. Tiger assembled a team of professionals, top-notch professionals, to help him with the grueling process of major rehabilitation with the goal of playing competitive golf. Most people thought that they would never see Tiger playing golf again. As usual, Tiger, as only Tiger can do, he beat the odds and came back to play at Augusta in the 2022 Masters tournament. The golf world was shocked and ecstatic at the same time that he was playing in the tournament. Many counted him out, but please remember that cats, tigers, have 9 lives. Never count out Tiger Woods because he's a prolific athlete. We have to give him the accolades that he deserves. He shocked people by coming back to the Masters and playing. He continues to shock the golf world because many thought that he wouldn't even make the cut. But he was determined to play. Let me give you my classical assessment of Tiger's performance. First, Tiger Woods is an incredible athlete. I've stated that. And no one will argue with that because he's just that great. He's a phenom. The golf world continues to marvel, admire, adore, and salivate at his commitment to excellence. Tiger Woods never disappoints when it comes to demonstrating his fortitude, tenacity, and his superlative mental mindset that he brings to the game of golf. Once again, Tiger Woods creates a deep internal desire from a social, psychological foundation to overvalue winning. That's all he knows how to do. That's his commitment, is to winning, which is everything to Tiger Woods. His social, psychological variables that he possesses are connected to his emotions because he loves the game of golf. Tiger Woods brought all of this to Augusta National. He brought it all. Tiger Woods finished the tournament as a 47th place finisher. As a golfer, everyone knows that finishing 47th was extremely disappointing for Tiger. But that's how it unfolded. Watching TV play out the Masters, the golf game, was exciting. People's adrenaline was pumping. How is he going to do? How is he going to perform? Because we didn't think that he would make it back to competitive golf. It was great to see him walking gracefully under his own strength, considering the prospect of amputation was a real conversation for Tiger Woods last year. Now, it's important for me to say this. When patients come to see me, sometimes they come not just with mental struggles, they come with physical struggles. And I've had some of my patients face the challenge of losing their leg, amputation. And I can tell you that men especially, when they're facing that amputation, that is the time that they are weeping the most. Because for a man to be able to walk, it helps him to feel good. So when you're facing the prospects of losing a leg, it's disastrous. It's depressing. It's humiliating. It's a humbling situation that you have to contend with. I've seen men lose their legs. And when they talk to me about it, they are overcome with emotions. They are distraught. I remember one man came and he was facing the prospect of losing his toes. And we talked about it, and he was saying how I won't even be able to walk properly. People will be looking at me funny. So it's devastating to lose a limb. But Tiger came back despite that hurdle that he had to overcome. Now, I didn't see much of the tournament, but I watched some of the highlights and talked to some of my friends who are avid golfers. It was evident that Tiger Woods struggled at Augusta last week, generating tremendous club speed that is required to launch the ball over 300 yards down the fairway is difficult enough for a professional player, far less for one who has suffered a catastrophic injury to his right leg, which was stabilized by pins and rods. The torque that's placed on the lower body with a compromised leg is exceedingly difficult at best. And that if it's on a flat plane. Imagine walking Augusta, which is one of the most difficult courses to walk. And imagine that the ball is on a downhill lie. Tiger Woods was challenged when he had to play a cut, moving the ball from left to right. And you're hitting out of a divot. Just imagine that. To execute this shot requires balance, equilibrium, stability, and torque on your lower body. The amount of force that is generated by the body to execute this type of a shot of an able-bodied golfer is incredible. When your right leg is compromised, that is a daunting task to perform. I'm sure he had a problem planting his foot several times due to his compromised leg, because the power to plant was a continual struggle for Tiger Woods at the Masters. I believe Tiger Woods was making numerous adjustments all day on the golf course, and he was constantly overcompensating because of his injury. This negatively impacted his golf game. Now, can Tiger Woods overcome his limitations? Most definitely. I would say yes, because he's a dedicated athlete. And no one works harder than Tiger Woods, because he's dedicated and relentless when it comes to his craft. Golf is everything for him, so he puts everything into his golf game. Tiger Woods has a very healthy ego, which is important for all elite athletes. You have to have that belief system in yourself that I am great. And he has a healthy ego, and there's nothing wrong with that. A healthy ego allows an athlete to play at the highest level possible. Remember that Tiger Woods has set the bar really high for himself, a tremendously high bar. So we expect great things from Tiger Woods. The bar is so high. He's won 15 majors. Just ponder that for a moment. 15 majors. My analysis is that he performed well, considering his physical limitations. Psychologically, mentally, his physical health was compromised. Mental and physical health is fundamentally linked together. We can't deny that. Those two, the mental and the physical, are inextricably linked. They're connected. The body and the mind work together so that we can function effectively. His body wasn't ready for the physical exertion that was required, and this negatively impacted his mental game. But in my professional opinion, it was a successful debut for Tiger Woods, considering the horrific accident and the recovery that was required for him to even be able to walk again and play 72 rounds of golf. So just imagine how much exertion and pressure was placed on his lower body just to walk Augusta. That's about 2, 3, 4 miles. That's a tremendous amount of time walking the golf course. But it was a successful debut, despite that he didn't win the 2022 Masters Tournament. His injuries and lack of match fitness proved too much for him at the Masters. He played 76 holes and logged many miles on the golf course. He was battling the environmental elements, such as rain and wind, that took place, which ultimately affects your golf game. The hilly Augusta National took its toll on his body. Tiger Woods is still the main draw at any tournament. People will flock to see him. He's unmatched in so many ways. He has that mystique and an assassin-like persona. And he goes about his business on the golf course in a methodical way. And people just love that. The crowd that followed him were rows and rows deep. Fans were wishing him the best, and they saw glimpses of his greatness as he made the unexpected cut. Tiger Woods' appearance at the Masters was far more than what happened on the golf course. It gave everybody a sign that Tiger is back. He's back. So the golfing world has been placed on notice. Yes, he's back. And he's coming to win because he has that mindset that I'm going to perform at the highest level. Tiger is back. And he can still roar. Trust me. He can still roar. So he's got unfinished business on the golf course. He will go back to the drawing board now with his team and reassess, reevaluate their game plan. My only concern is that when an athlete wants to do something, sometimes the team doesn't have the desire to say, you know what, I don't think we should do that. Because the athlete's will and decision tends to overrule the team. And that can be a problem. Because as I said, when you have a healthy ego and you're used to making decisions independently, sometimes you don't want that from a team. Right now, I'm working with a professional fighter, a former world champion boxer. And sometimes as a team, we have to come together and make hard decisions for him that he doesn't appreciate. But when we give him the information, that's all we can do is give him the information. And if he says yes, then it's yes. But if he says no, we have to go with that. So I hope that when Tiger comes together with his team, they will be able to say, you know what, Tiger, I think this is the way that we should go. And I'm also hoping that he will be willing to listen. And I know that it's not easy for us as people to listen, but that's an important part of being on a team. At the end of the final round, Woods received a standing ovation. The crowd was just cheering him on because they were just so happy that he was able to finish. Here's what Tiger Woods said to CBS. I obviously wasn't playing at my best out there. He acknowledged that. I don't know if words can really describe where I was a year ago and what my prospects were at that time. He concluded by saying, I'm thankful to be competing at the Masters. Internally, Tiger Woods won the Masters, and he also won the hearts of the fans who were there and the millions who were watching around the world. Because athletes like Tiger Woods don't come around often. We have to know that certain athletes are great. Athletes like Muhammad Ali, we're not going to see that type of caliber of an athlete. And Tiger Woods ranks high on the list. So yes, Scotty Scheffler won, but Tiger Woods also won. I hope you've enjoyed my comments and analysis. Feel free to subscribe, and it's my pleasure spending some time with you tonight. Thank you.